the price of Bitcoin will soon reach $80,000. This is what I believe will occur. I'm not even kidding. This week is probably when it will occur. All right, due to a black swan occurrence, I believe it will go place this following week. Investors should go all in since the price of XRP will rise again if it does, and it will drop below $1.40. In today's video, we will examine that topic. The flash hit the black swan, Jeffrey E. Bitcoin linkages, the crash, the dump. The best feature of bar charts comes next. For 65% of its Microsoft stake, the Bill Gates Foundation paid $8.8 billion. All right, folks, this is the Gates Foundation Trust. Microsoft Information Technology had a 65% decrease. All right, guys, I believe this occurred last quarter and was just released. To put it another way, attempting to sell everything is a mistake. Remember when they were selling their own companies? Their goal is to obtain out of the system because they believe a significant event is imminent. There might be connections to him. And this week, new information is emerging that could reveal more. All I know, though, is that the crash is most likely imminent if they are selling. Since Bitcoin is returning to this location, I believe this is where my estimate sits at the moment. All right, that's how it will end. It may reverse course and rise once more, but it will eventually fall in that direction. Guys, we'll probably pump. All well, so XRP will most likely fall to around $1.50. However, the trends indicate that Bitcoin will fall to about 80K. Well, that's it for now. Fantastic. Fantastic. Until we are not, keep in mind that we are in the storm. All right? That domination chart shows the teeth. I didn't realize how bad the storm would get. Inform them now that Jeffrey is actually Satoshi Nakamoto. Look what just came out, guys. Time to leave. We located emails. The work of Jeffrey Loan, funds creating the Bitcoin core Aladdin, is working really hard. Aladdin is not to be trifled with. This altar of ego was created on December 12th, 2020, 2022. Users of XRP were already aware of this for a while. Would Bitcoin be something I should consume? We're not making this up, all right? Dan concurs with the individual who has been shouting loudly that Bitcoin will be worthless in the future. I will purchase that. I'm eager to receive it at no cost. Correct. We won this round and were able to proceed because of donation funds that assisted in covering the cost. I appreciate the Digital Cash Initiative. Thus, it appears that he was involved in the development of the core of Bitcoin. That's absurd. This man's work was the foundation for the new technology or financial system. This occurs when Bitcoin is simply waiting for the black swan, which is what makes it extra weird to me. I'll reiterate. This coming week, I predict a black swan occurrence that will cause the price of Bitcoin to plummet to $80,000. If I'm correct, this is going to be the most outrageous and well-known call ever. According to the additional VOD, Bitcoin was valued 280K, or roughly 150 XRP or $50. It may initially decline little before rising again. All right, but the Aladdin is delivering the news of that, isn't it? According to the chart. So, we will be extremely near the bottom when it occurs. Also, have a look at this. He met Satoshi at the 2014 Climate Summit, according to his emails. Apart from that, hold on, Satoshi was seen as being similar to the person we called a long time ago, correct? Therefore, Dan Pina was correct when he stated that it would immediately drop to zero if you knew who Satoshi was. That's awesome. Thus, Satoshi Bitcoin, it appears that you are not prioritizing your plan effectively. How will you deal with everything? This week, I'll be here. You may become weary of me. I can't converse freely because I'm seated on the train right now. Take caution. This week, I'm going to resume an old activity with Teal and several others. Next, Satoshi right there, he says. If you'd want, you can also invite individuals whenever you'd like. After that, there are intriguing folks in town for the climate convention. Yes, guys, this is truly insane. Totally insane. The inventor of Bitcoin has been found, isn't that correct? As we previously stated, you are already aware that Bitcoin is on the verge of being extinct, aren't you? According to the emails, Brock Pierce is a Bitcoin entrepreneur. The emails claim that Brock Pierce, a co-founder of Tether, a stablecoin issuer, discussed Bitcoin at Jeffrey's Manhattan residence with former U.S. Treasury Secretary Larry Summers. While Summers stated that he was intrigued in Bitcoin but wary due to the risks to his reputation from the market's volatility, Pierce claimed to be the busiest Bitcoin investor. Correct. One of the founders of the secure cryptocurrency Tether is this individual. Whoa. We're getting everything we asked for. I take it that both Bitcoin and Tether will perish? I had no idea why they would do that, people. I didn't write it, but some XRP users understood what I meant. I'm not sure why, but I believe those e-files contain bitcoins. Alright, Satoshi was on the island. These folks were all acquainted with men in our community. Alright, I had no idea what they would say to defend destroying Tether and Bitcoin. I was aware that something negative would occur. It appears that they intend to use this as a justification. Alright, so here we are in 2024, preparing to service on simple connections to Bitcoin and Tether. You mean to get ready for real? And the expansion of CBDCs. Do you believe they're interested in CBDCs? I believe Mr. Poole informed you that those people would be cut off. Thus, Bitcoin is on the verge of dying. Prepare yourself for a flash crash, which is currently taking place. All right, this is my guess. Additionally, it appears to be released this week. Guys, that goes really well with everything that's happening. All right, so some unpleasant things are simply awful. Indeed, Jeffrey too was concerned about the email dump involving Bitcoin and cryptocurrency taxation. Well, the emails don't demonstrate that. What, after all, concerns me more? His connections to finance or the creation of Bitcoin from the start? What is it that he appears to have had a lot of? I thought he was really interested in Bitcoin. Descending here. Everyone wants to invest in this intriguing cryptocurrency. He sent the coworker a hilarious text. Whoa, folks. I take it that it was planned long ago? It was, indeed. Let's proceed. Now let's proceed. Shall we go to Dan Pena? We were the first to predict that grown men will weep like infants when the truth is revealed. Big was going to go down, guys, and I can't believe we knew. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. I'm serious. If you were aware of Bitcoin's creator, I really think that Bitcoin is real. You would try to sell it as soon as possible. I'm positive. If you knew who created Bitcoin and who owned it, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. When the true founder of Bitcoin comes out, I'm confident I'll know. That's simply my opinion. I'm not at all humble. Bitcoin will be worthless. So easy, isn't it? Once we identify Satoshi, Bitcoin will be worthless. Satoshi is not Jeffrey, as we now know. It's not that individual. They all met, though, didn't they? We paid for it with gift money, which allowed us to move swiftly and win this round. Jeffrey, you do realize that he contributed to the acquisition of Bitcoin? They warned that Bitcoin was going to die as a result. Michael Saylor was the first to make this claim, but we immediately refuted them. Everyone was chasing us. Guys, I'm going wild about that. What makes John McAfee a fan of Bitcoin? That isn't feasible. God damn it. Please demonstrate the process of adding a smart contract on the Bitcoin blockchain. The smart contract is composed of these. Everybody has a smart contract except Bitcoin. How about an application? You can't ignore the factors that contributed to the company's initial high value since Bitcoin was used as payment. Do you not understand? Do you mean to make fun of me? Indeed. You can add a lot to a space rocket, just like you can add a lot to a Model D Ford. All right? Wake up, buddy. John McAfee disliked Bitcoin, as you are well aware. In addition, this tape demonstrates that John McAfee was aware of the situation and never misled. I hope he finds peace. I thought he was honest. He had a strategy to escape.